Assalamu alaikum, my brother and sisters. Discussing relations between the United States and Afghanistan cannot be separated from the events of 9/11, so that Islam and its adherents are often misunderstood, leading to the emergence of Islamophobia in the Western world. However, this attitude did not influence a United States female soldier from Mexico, Lourdes Loyola, towards Islam and Muslims. Loyola joined the military in 2009. Since joining until now, Loyola, who holds the rank of sergeant, has been assigned by the United States military to serve as a peacekeeping soldier in Afghanistan twice. And in 2015, he had a Muslim friend in the military who didn't eat pork. As laypeople, we usually only know that Muslims are prohibited from eating pork, even though in fact there are many things we don't know about Islam, he said. Starting with this peace mission, it turns out that guidance began to pave the way for Loyola. He shared his conversion story on a YouTube channel that discusses converts to Islam in the United States, the Ansari podcast. While in Afghanistan, Loyola saw real life for Muslims, which was different from what the media had been reporting. That a Muslim lives the same as ordinary people with daily activities, such as earning a living or working. Upon returning from Afghanistan, elections were taking place in the United States. The issue of Islamophobia is getting stronger to the point that many netizens are very insulting and cornering Islam, but no one is discussing other religions. I really don't like it if someone or a group of people attacks a certain group. I will defend it wholeheartedly, he said. Armed with this belief, Loyola then wanted to study Islam so that the data and facts it had were sufficient to answer internet troll accusations. Loyola began looking for data in the Quran and went to a mosque in Nebraska, and at that time the Nebraska mosque was holding an open house. Loyola was unashamedly present and asked questions in the question and answer session. He asked about the different portions of inheritance for men and women, as well as the issue of the connection between Islam and terrorism. Loyola also got a reasonable answer and accepted the answer from the imam of the Nebraska mosque. Not only did he ask a question once, until the end of the session, Loyola asked again about the reasons why Islam forbids eating pork. For that problem, Loyola got a short answer because it was Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's command and he still accepted it. After the discussion was over, it turned out that a Muslim woman approached him, then explained in detail the reason for the ban on eating pork, and the answer from his Muslim friend stunned him, that the reason for the prohibition is not just an order, but also has scientific and reasonable reasons. In fact, for Loyola, if the reason was obedience from God alone, he would not question it further, because previously, Loyola had never questioned the orders of its God in the religion it previously adhered to. That I used to be a devout religious person before becoming a Muslim. I am not a girl who worships because of my parents' orders, but because she believes in her heart that she must practice this religion, she said. However, after 4 or 5 years of studying Islam, Loyola saw that this religion was a religion that perfected the religion he previously adhered to, that all religious teachings are reasonable and acceptable. Exactly on December 10, 2015, Loyola firmly accepted Islam as its religion. He felt tears of emotion that, even as a soldier, he had never done in public. Loyola felt peaceful and serene like returning home. He admitted that his conversion to Islam was not a conversion, but a journey to return home. After praying, Loyola then informed her husband. Without argument, the husband fully supported his wife's decision. He was very happy, even though after that he had to marry a different religion. Because she did not expect that her husband would join her in becoming a Muslim, even imagining that thousands of years later he would accept Islam seemed impossible. After her husband accepted, Loyola began to study Islam and various obligations as a Muslim, one of which was wearing the hijab. Initially, she felt hesitant about wearing the hijab, but her husband returned to support and motivate her, whatever her choice. In June 2018, Loyola then decided to commit to wearing the hijab full-time. Previously, Loyola admitted that to truly implement this Islamic law, he learned slowly by wearing trousers more often, long-sleeved shirts, and then increasing to turtlenecks that covered the neck. It didn't stop there. Loyola, who is also a mother of 3, received an unexpected gift. That 4 months after taking the Shahada, the child, who was then 9 years old, followed in his footsteps. Without coercion, her first son took the Shahada and was accompanied by Loyola and her husband. There was a question that a woman was prohibited from marrying a non-Muslim, so when a wife becomes Muslim and her husband does not follow, they will separate. However, what happened with the Loyola household was different. Loyola has its own view on this. How can I say goodbye if my husband really supports me and my children's Islam? Because then my second child followed in his older brother's footsteps in embracing Islam, he said. Her husband did not even hesitate to take his 2 children to pray at the men-only mosque and wait for them to finish praying. It didn't seem fair if she had to decide to divorce a husband like this, and none of her Muslim friends emphasized that she should separate from her husband, that when single Muslim women have to choose men who share their faith, that's a different matter. So for him, this problem must be looked at case by case, and it turns out that Loyola's choice also created a path of guidance for her husband, because in 2018, her husband decided to embrace Islam. Suddenly he asked me to take him to the imam to pray, he said. And now Loyola has again been blessed with a baby born when his father and mother had become Muslims. This is the video I can share. Hopefully it can be an inspiration for all of us. And please support this channel by clicking the subscribe, like, comment, and share buttons. Thank you. See you in the next video.